I love that. I ain't gonna lie, man. Casey, you did your thing with that countdown, bro. I know it was the Truth to Set You Free one, but we're streaming on Truth to Set You Free too. So I guess we're okay, you know? I love it. That was one of the most epic entrances ever created by Casey. Good morning, everybody. Grand Rising, if you don't like saying good morning because it, talks about death, I guess. But whatever. Grand Rising, everybody out there in the world. Hope you're having an amazing day. I woke up and I'm like, let me see what's going on in the world. So I've been spending the last 2 hours looking at news, still drinking my coffee. By the way, this coffee is amazing. You got to get you some. The only place you could get this coffee is from Freedom Box. Tell you about that later. Today, I got some stuff I wanted to jump into. Before we get started, though, please, everybody, if you could do me the favor of liking this video and sharing this video out, I'd appreciate it. It helps me combat against the algorithm. As you know, I get crushed because I'm a black guy that talks about Trump, So, yeah, please like this video and share this video. We got some stuff to get into this morning. I've seen a couple news articles. Number one, and look, I'm giving my opinion about these things. Obviously, I'm not a professional, but just my own logic and reason as an American seeing the world. I mean, this stuff is kind of too easy. Some of it's a little complicated, but we're going to jump into it, no matter what. So here we go. I'm about to pull up this first thing. And, I got to pause in between because they don't like when you share other people's stuff. So we're going to give it the good old college try right now anyway. What's this one? MSNBC. Where's it at? Breaking news. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Here we go. Check it out.
2 federal courts blocking President Biden's student loan bailout plan after a lawsuit from several Republican-led states. The court rulings last night coming from district judges in Kansas and Missouri. The Biden administration now cannot cancel any more federal student debt for borrowers enrolled in the SAVE plan, a program that ties how much somebody pays each month to their income. It would have cost taxpayers $475 billion over the next 10 years. It has already cost billions. Joining me now is Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey. AG Bailey, great to have you. Thanks very much for being here this morning.
Before they get fully into it, y'all just heard that, right? So here's the situation. They blocked Biden's bill that was going to cancel student loan debt. However many billions of dollars they were trying to throw at it. All right. Now let's keep going. Listen to what he got to say.
Thanks for having me on.
And of course, you are part of that lawsuit that made this happen. Look, Joe Biden has already ignored the Supreme Court, which also deemed forgiving student loan debt unconstitutional. And yet he kept doing it even after being told it was unconstitutional. Do you think he'll actually stop?
Well, I'm afraid that he's not going to stop. We beat him at the United States Supreme Court about this time last year on his Plan A. He immediately, almost simultaneously with that defeat, rolled out a Plan B. I'm sure he's got a Plan C. Most recently, he's been on the stump bragging about how the United States Supreme Court told him he couldn't do it, and he was going to do it anyway. At some point, this becomes a constitutional crisis. We know Congress has the power of the purse, not the president. And at the end of the day, the Supreme Court decision from last June invoked the major questions doctrine, which stands for the proposition that Congress doesn't hide an elephant in a mouse hole. If Congress intends to redistribute $500 billion in debt, they have to speak explicitly. Congress has not done so. They've twice rejected a bill. The president has no textual basis in law for this plan, and I'm not going to let Joe Biden saddle working Missouri families with Ivy League debt.
Now,
sounds good, right? That sounds good. Everything he just said sounds good. Cares about the American people. He's not going to let the people of Missouri have to pay all this money. That sounds great, right? Let's keep going.
You have also said that you are suing New York over lawfare against President Trump, intending to sue the state of New York over what you're calling unconstitutional lawfare. Tell us about that.
Missouri has a sovereign interest in participating in a presidential national election on equal footing with other states. And yet what's going on here is a rogue prosecutor and judicial system in one state has taken a presidential candidate off the campaign trail, tethered him to a courtroom, potentially sentencing him to prison or other onerous conditions that will remove him from this campaign, and has silenced him with an unconstitutional gag order. That's depriving Missourians and all voters of access to a presidential candidate. That's not the way this system works. We can't allow a rogue prosecutor in New York to essentially undermine the integrity of our election. So I'm fighting for Missouri's sovereignty, Missourians' voters' ability to hear from and access a presidential candidate. And the United States Supreme Court has a method in place to resolve these disputes. It's in Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution. Disputes between states are adjudicated as a matter of original jurisdiction at the United States Supreme Court. Right now, Missouri has a big problem with New York.
And of course, you testified in front of the House Judiciary Committee just last week on what you called an illegal prosecution, but you think eventually it will be thrown out.
I absolutely think that. It's replete with constitutional error, from the gag order to the lack of
That I definitely agree with. 100%. I agree with that.
notice from the due process clause and the indictment to the lack of jury unanimity during deliberations. I mean, the President Trump's civil rights have been violated, but Missourians are being harmed as well, because again, when President Trump can't take to the campaign trail and talk about the issues that are important to him and Missouri voters, Missourians are deprived of their First Amendment right to hear from a candidate. But look, these two stories are flip sides of the same coin, in the sense that President Biden is trying to buy votes with an unconstitutional student loan bailout while he's simultaneously orchestrating lawfare against President Trump to take him off the campaign trail. It's the same strategic objective, which is to hold on to authority at all costs, even if it undermines the rule of law and destroys our government in the process.
Yeah, maybe. But look what they wrote in the Kansas City Star in an op-ed. AG bailing using Missouri taxpayer money to fight Trump's New York conviction is odd justice.
Yeah, Marie, I'm starting to think the Kansas City Star maybe doesn't like me. It's the lamestream media. It's the same old tribe. No one's buying that because Missourians are being harmed. What if President Trump was going to have a rally in Missouri and can't because he's got to be in a courtroom in Manhattan? How many Missourians wanted to hear President Trump talk about the lawfare against him, but he's been silenced? Again, the First Amendment protects not only speakers, but listeners as well. And gag orders intended to protect a defendant's right to a fair trial. But the president wants to waive that right and speak on these issues. He should be allowed to do that. There's a strong constitutional presumption against gag orders because they violate the First Amendment. And yet here, that should be heightened scrutiny, because we're talking about a presidential candidate in the height of a campaign in one of the most consequential elections in this nation's history.
So do you think all of this comes up at the debate?
Yo, by the way, everybody, I appreciate all of you that do comment, because it does help the algorithm. So the comments, the likes, and all the shares, thank you all for doing that. I appreciate you.
On Thursday, we're all waiting to see how CNN handles this CNN presidential debate. Are they going to raise the issues that matter to the American people, or are we going to see more attacks on Trump?
I have no faith and confidence in the communist news network's ability to be fair or objective, but I hope that the issue of lawfare comes up, because I think even Americans who maybe disagree with President Trump on certain policy positions can get behind the idea that the Constitution and the rules matter, and this offends basic sensibilities of fairness.
Yeah, but probably you'll hear Joe Biden call Donald Trump a convicted felon a lot. That's probably one of his main tools.
Which brings me to my next point, right? I'm going to dig right into this, but I want to pull a point real quick. This morning when I got up, the headlines, all the headlines. So instead of referring to Trump as President Trump, all the headlines say felon Trump. Have you all noticed that? And in all these different headlines of all these liberal news sources, it's felon Trump. That's what they want to depict him as now. And yes, Kelly, you are definitely right. Yes, 100%. All the legacy media is terminally liberal. Al Gore. Yeah, I like that. But check this out. So in the beginning of when they started talking, they were talking about the money that that Congress tried to, the bill that Biden tried to push. Congress didn't approve it. They said, no, we're not going to give all this money for student loan debt. Now, here's the issue. I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. All right. So when we look at the population of people who have student loan debt. Okay. Do you know how upsetting it is? Do you know how upsetting it must be for families and the people that went through school, right? How upsetting it must be to see them deny student loan bailout. Like, just end it, right? And hear me out before you, like, get me, because you're like, we got to pay for it. That's true. That is true, right? But don't you find it weird how we can spend billions of dollars for Pakistani gender studies? We can spend billions of dollars on wars that have nothing to do with us. We could spend billions of dollars on all these other nations for whatever the reason. Yet we can't take care of our own country right here. Now, remember, these people, these kids, they are the next wave. So wouldn't it be good? Wouldn't it be a good thing to say, you know what, instead of all this money that we're sending out to all these other countries, we're going to take care of home. We are going to cancel student loan debt, because these people tried to go and get an education and they worked hard so they could become the next whatever they want to be in this country, to keep our country thriving, keep our country going. The way I'm looking at it, I'm like, I would be pissed off too. I would be pissed off too. Congress, this is my problem. Congress has the power of the purse, right? Now, Biden can ask for things, but Congress can say hell no. No, Congress can say hell no. And then vice versa. Biden can say hell no, right? Checks and balances. Yet all of you come together in agreement, Democrats, Republicans alike, all, and the president, in agreement to spend billions of dollars in foreign spending to whatever you want to fund. But you won't fund the futures of American citizens. That's how I'm starting to look at this. Because we know we got the money. We obviously got the money, because y'all just spend it however you want to. You send it wherever you want to send it to, as long as it helps you. War benefits. War benefits a lot of people in Congress. It benefits a lot of people in Congress. And this is just the truth. This is the truth. How do you all feel? Am I making sense here, or am I just capping? Let me know. What do you think? Can we at least let them file bankruptcy? Are they going to pay us? Yeah, well, I feel you, but that's the whole point. Are we saying the same thing about the war? The money that we spend, our taxpayer dollars go to fund these wars. Our taxpayer dollars go for Pakistani gender studies. That's a real thing that happened. That was in a bill that got passed. Donna, you agree? Well, I went to nursing. I feel you. Yep. What's going on? Good morning. Learn a trade instead. I agree, but why should this is my whole thing. Why should American citizens, you say, learn a trade, which is a great piece of advice. I recommend everybody learn a trade. I got a couple, but the thing is, why should American citizens have to change how we live over here and what we want to do and following our dreams because Congress can't get it together, or our president can't get it together? These people can't get it together to help us, but they can help everybody else. Look at what's happening at the border. Yeah, facts. Hey, I'm glad you are friends with Ricky Manor. That boy respects white people, especially white Christians, and Trump has did many amazing things to help the colored vote Trump. What? What? Bro. See, that leads me into my next part of this discussion. See, everybody wants to throw race into there, right? Everybody. Especially when it comes to, the masses, the population at large. Everybody is just so triggered about race, right? And I see your name is Mr. Duke. That lets me know exactly what your profile's made for, but you're welcome here, bro. I welcome all the trolls. You know what I'm saying? You're good, but just be respectful. That's all I ask, because even though I'm broadcasting news, it should be like dad news, because my kids be running around out there making all kind of noise. But even though I am just a family man now, and I try to do the news and I try to talk about things, if you get disrespectful, I will not hesitate to call you a bitch. Just throwing that out there. I'm not calling you one right now, so just be respectful. I'll be respectful. We'll be good. All right. But this leads me into my next thing. Let's get to it. Where's it at? Right there. There it is. Okay. So Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking the other day. And she had an interesting argument. Now I do have to pause it here and there so we don't get flagged on YouTube and get taken down. So if I pause it and make a comment, it's only because I don't want to get this taken down right now. But everybody needs to listen to this. It made me do some thinking. All right. So here we go. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Boom. Here we go. Share. Let's hear Marjorie Taylor Greene speak.
Expired almost 2 minutes over. Chair now recognize Ms. Green for a full 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the people watching at home today, we're talking about Title VII of the Civil Rights Act that states it shall be unlawful employment practice for an employer to fail or refuse to hire or to discharge any individual or otherwise to discriminate against any individual with respect to his compensation, terms, conditions, or privileges of employment because of such individual's race, color, religion, sex, or national origin.
Hold on. I'm going to play that one more time. I want y'all to hear this, especially you, Mr. Duke. I want you to hear this. All right, here we go.
Be unlawful employment practice for an employer to fail or refuse to hire or to discharge any individual or otherwise to discriminate against any individual with respect to his compensation, terms, conditions, or privileges of employment because of such individual's race, color, religion, sex, or national origin.
Okay.
It carries on to talk about segregation and classification.
Y'all got that, right? All of those things listed. All of those things are listed under the Civil Rights Act. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. All right, now keep listening.
Of employees or applicants, and it carries on to an individual, again, race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Yet today, and it was reported by CBS, it says that major U.S. companies gave 94% of new jobs to people of color in 2021. White workers accounted for 20,524 jobs, just 6%.
Hold on. Run that back. I'm going to hear this again so everybody can just get it.
Workers accounted for 20,524 jobs, just 6%. Mr. Rokita, would that be a violation of Title VII of the Civil Rights Act?
Yeah, if the hiring was done simply on the basis of race, correct.
Mr. Berry?
Yes, 100%.
Ms. Stepman?
It is, especially as the AG said, when you find intentional statements in order, like to discriminate publicly, that's about as slam dunk a case under Title VII as you can get.
Ms. Wiley?
About a slam dunk as you can get, right? Now we're going to listen to Miss Wiley. Miss Wiley, she's going to be the combative one.
Sorry, cannot discriminate based on race, period.
Okay. BlackRock Founder Scholarship is targeting, has a program designated for undergraduates and master's students who self-identify as Black or African American, Hispanic or Latino, Native American, LGBTQ, or disabled. Is this a violation of Title VII or a violation of the Civil Rights Act, Mr. Rokita?
Yeah, I'm having trouble reading all that, although I appreciate what you're doing. If you self-identifying and then
based on race,
yeah,
identifying sex, Mr. Berry?
Under Section 1981, that looks like a violation.
Ms. Stepman?
Yes.
Ms. Wiley?
We've had no ruling that I'm aware of that says that's a violation.
This is talking about race, gender, LGBTQ. Definitely leaves off white. White is not on this list, so that would be based on race. Seems to be a violation to me.
I think what we're talking about is what the status of current case law is.
I think
and
it
I've not
definitely
seen a
leaves
case
off
that
white
says-
people. I reclaim my time. Smithfield Foods.
Here we go. We're going to get into the race, right? Let me see. Ricky Manners, right? The colored Democrats are anti-white people. They hate white men, especially white Christians. Okay. All right.
has an aggressive set of goals in its hiring. I know it's hard to see for the witnesses. By 2030, increase the racial diversity of our leadership team by promoting and hiring qualified Black, Hispanic, and other underrepresented individuals to positions of supervisor and above in support of our current goal of 30% representation. It goes on to talk about gender diversity in their leadership team, for female leaders to positions of supervisor, talking about another current percentage goal. Mr. Rokita, would this be a violation?
Yes, because it's a quota.
Mr. Berry,
Absolutely.
Ms. Stepman,
Quotas are a violation of.
Ms. Wiley,
Goals are not quotas.
that they have quote.
Goals are not quotas. Now, listen, sister, I understand what you're trying to do here, and I'm going to get into why Miss Wiley is being combative. I'm going to get into it. All right. But I want to finish this. I want you guys to keep listening. All right. Because I ain't gonna lie, Marjorie Taylor Greene made some valid points, but I got to report this.
Quotas. They have percentage quotas, Miss Wiley.
What I've heard is goals.
I guess you have a hard time hearing the truth. Kellogg's, according to its filings with Securities and Exchange Commission, Kellogg's operates in a highly competitive commercial environment and faces significant challenges in finding capable employees, is what they claim. They have a program called Better Days Promise, specifies that by the end of 2025, it will achieve 25% racially underrepresented talent at the management level in the United States. It's talking about a program, paid postgraduate fellow program for Black chefs to work with our research and development team to help them better understand food roles in Black communities worldwide. Mr. Rokita, talking about race and having these woke percentage plans, is this a violation with Kellogg?
Yes, assuming the hirings are based solely on race, yes.
Yeah, they specifically say Black chefs here. Mr. Berry?
Goals are usually quotas under the law.
Okay. Ms. Stepman.
Yes, it's a violation.
Ms. Wiley?
We need to know a lot more facts before we know if that's a violation.
They clearly state it right there. A paid postgraduate fellow program for Black chefs to work with our research and development team to help them better understand foods, roles, or Black communities worldwide. Unlawfully, only Black or African American chefs are allowed, even if individuals with other immutable characteristics are otherwise qualified. So they're leaving off the trans people, they're leaving off LGBTQ, Asian, Indian. Mr. Chairman, I've run out of time. Thank you.
Okay, so let's unpack this right quick. So this is my take. All right. It made me my wheels started turning this morning as I watched this, because the headlines was, "Are you serious? Marjorie Taylor Greene's talking about white jobs," right? So understand this, right? Look at where we are in today's society. So everybody is familiar with affirmative action, right? Affirmative action was created because there wasn't a lot of Black people getting jobs. It was predominantly white everywhere, and they wouldn't hire Blacks. Basically, essentially, that's what affirmative action came from. They was not hiring Black people, right? So then, while you have the Civil Rights Act and Title VII, you have affirmative action that says, okay, you got to hire so many. These companies have to hire so many Black people. You can't discriminate based off of race. But now here's the conflict, right? After the quota is met, right? All right, Bobby, after the quota is met, the affirmative action quota, because you have to have, like, I got my job with Local 17, heat and frost insulators, because they had to meet the quota. I was a Black guy. I was one of the only Black people that was trying to get in at the time. Me and like maybe two other people. And we were the only ones in that class, right? But we got the job. Now, what happens when that quota gets filled? Can you discriminate? Or let's say that they're right there at the quota, right? Let's say that I'm not as qualified to get the job, and you already got your quota of white people. So you have to discriminate based off of race due to affirmative action. You have to. You have no choice. I'm sorry, sir. Even though you were very qualified, we can't hire you because you're white. We have to have more black people here. You see what I'm saying? Do you see the conundrum that we're in right now? So now, here we are in today's society. I want to show some statistics. Not even statistics. This is actually the labor force. All right. Now I can understand Wiley's reaction, because when you look at the statistics or the labor force's numbers for 2023, 2024 isn't out yet. Check this out. Let's see, share this tab instead. Here we go. So look at this. So right here we have household data, annual averages, employed persons by detailed occupation, sex, race, and Hispanic or Latino ethnicity. All right. So let's go through it. The occupation. This is the occupation. Total employed women, white, black, African or American, Asian, Hispanic, or Latin. Percentage of total employed. So 16 years and over. So this is for 16-year-olds and beyond. Total employed right here. You see that? 160,000 plus, right? 46.9% women. 76%, 76.5% are white. 12.8% are black. 6.9% are Asian. And 18.8% are Hispanic. Management professional and related occupations, 70,000, right? 51% of them are women. 51% are women. 76%, almost 77% are white. 10% African American or black. 9.3% Asian. 11.2%. So as we go down, I'm not going to go through, and read all of them. But as you go down, you'll notice something. The highest percentage of people employed are white. Predominantly, like it's not even close. You can add all the other numbers up together and it's not even close, right? But how many of them are women in a lot of these categories? A shit ton. A shit ton of women. All right. So they say that they're discriminating. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene's argument is that they are discriminating due to race, and they're discriminating against white, right? So I'm going to pull that statistic down. So here's my thing. This is the question that hits my head, right? First, let me go ahead and look at your guys' comments. But the other companies filing quotas would never say that. Sorry, you're white. They just would not get hired. It was an unwritten spoken thing. It's exactly what it is. It was simple. The roles have been filled. I was told I overqualified for four-year college at my first job. See, say Biden and Democrats are trying to take away white people's rights. White people built America. You are really funny, Mr. Duke. You are hilarious for that comment. That is horrible that you would think like that. Okay. Hey. I'm a woman. Just white men, maybe. Okay, so check this out. Here's the thing. You got a whole bunch of people in this country working, right? Most of them predominantly are white. Second, most of them are women. Straight up. That's just what it is. So I got questions. Are these women women? Or are they women? Number one. When it talks about white, are they white? Or are they, because like there's a whole bunch of different classifications for white, right? And then when you talk about Black or African American, are they Black or are they Black? Like, I got questions. Y'all don't know what I mean. It's a deeper thing, right? But you can't discriminate using the Civil Rights Act, talking about Title VII, right? According to all of these different things, race, religion, gender, sex, all of this stuff. And these companies, now the argument that she was putting forth was these companies, BlackRock, Smith, whatever, the Chinese owned company, the other one that she mentioned, whatever its name was, really isn't important. But the thing is, they have a quota. All companies had a quota because of affirmative action. This is a fact. All companies had to meet a quota. So now it's reversed, and they're saying that management is underrepresented according to race. There's not enough Black managers, or there's not enough. So there's a problem there. I don't understand. I don't understand actually what the problem will be if they're saying, you know what, we want to be more inclusive in the representation of the company. What would be the problem there? I don't understand. Now, we say that in America, people have private owned businesses, right? Private owned businesses should have the right to hire whoever the hell they want to, or elevate people. It's not saying that they're not going to hire white people. As we see on the chart that I just showed, white people are the majority of workers. White people are the majority of workers in the country per the labor force. So they're not saying that they're not going to hire white people anymore. It specifically was saying, look, we want to give more of our management positions and things like that to African Americans. Well, in that specific one that they were talking about, the chefs, where she was talking about the chefs. They're not talking about disqualifying people from working. They're talking about who they would like to, they have a push that they would like to see more of these people, which is their right as a company. I don't and this is the whole point that I'm trying to make, is this is the problem that I have with some of the conservative ideas. Okay? Some of the conservative ideas is, because this will turn off somebody who doesn't look at the headlines today. A brother that ain't or a sister that doesn't know shit about politics, or doesn't have an open mind, or doesn't try to understand. Because, by the way, I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's one of the only people who came to DC DOC, her and Louis Gohmert. Shout out to both of them. I love both of them. They came to visit us and check on us and make sure that we were okay. I have nothing but respect for Marjorie Taylor Greene. But the argument that she's trying to make, I disagree with. I agree with and I disagree with. Of course, they should not discriminate against anybody based off of race, religion, sexual preference, any of that, right? Sexual orientation. They shouldn't. Obviously, nobody should be discriminated against. But when you're making the argument that white people are they're not getting jobs, or they're being discriminated against from being hired, I can't see that reflected in the numbers, is all I'm saying. I can't see that reflected in the numbers. And why target a company, a private business? Why target a company who is saying that we just want to elevate in our company? Because this isn't like a national thing. This isn't all companies saying, hey, we're going to focus on bringing more Black people into higher positions. It's not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying. So I get what she's trying to say, and I understand. But when somebody like the left will have they're having a field day with this, because they got that replacement theory. That replacement theory. So when they push the replacement theory, they're saying, oh, white people are just scared that that the left, or whoever is trying to replace white people in this country. Listen to me. Listen. When you push rhetoric like that, you turn off people who are not white. You turn off people who are not racist, who just are partaking in the American experience. You turn them off from even wanting to hear anything else that you got to say because you feel a threat to your whiteness. Don't do that. I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene actually feels that way. And I don't think a lot of Americans that are conservative feel that way. But we have people in key positions that are only there to cause division. We got people in both movements, just like how you see the left. The left, they have people in them positions on purpose there to cause division. I'll give you examples. Maxine Waters, Ilhan Omar, AOC, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people in what's her name? The neck. What's her name? Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi. Oh, they push the division and they push the rhetoric and they keep the race thing going. But on the other side, you have a lot of conservatives that are there to create the same kind of division just on the other end, to cause white people to think that they're trying to be replaced, that they want to replace white people. And we buy into it every time and we argue about it. You got white people like Mr. Duke here, you know. I don't even know. I don't think you're white, Duke. I'm sorry. I think that this is a troll profile. I think that you might be either you are a black man or a very liberal white woman. That's what I think. That's what I think. I'm spitballing here. I might not be correct. Maybe you are a really for real white guy that I don't know. But the fear mongering, man, the fear mongering, and they're being paid to talk about these things in Congress. Again, from your taxpayer dollars. Are we serious? They don't want to help bail out students, but they'll bail out nations and fund wars. That's a problem. Where just this morning on the news, I see in Gary, Indiana, a man and a woman, they got popped last night at a gas station and they're dead. You know what I'm saying? There's real issues around here in our own community that we can be putting our taxpayer dollars at work. Create more jobs. Create more jobs. I mean, we obviously have enough money to do all types of stuff here. And this is, again, why you will hear the left, where the left makes, I'm not going to say the R word, they are slow, but they make a lot of sense when they tell people, you know, about socialism. I'm no fan of socialism. I am a fan of social programs. Now, the reason I say this is when you got people in Congress sending billions with a B to other places. And we got people, our vets come home and they fucking suffer. Our vets come home and don't get shit. Why is there not a program? Why has it got to be the people to come together and create these nonprofits and these foundations to help the vets, which I'm a very big fan of. I appreciate the brothers that come home and they do that, right? But why does it got to fall on the people? Or they went and fought because the government told them that they had to. In a war, they should come home and be treated like kings. They should get rewarded, especially because they kept their life and won. You got a bunch of homeless people out here. You got cities that are in decay because of bad decisions from our government throughout the decades. And that's a whole nother topic. Why? Why are you in Congress talking about fucking skin color? Who's getting hired and who's not? This shit ain't the civil rights no more. We are far past that. You got people in key positions of power of all different fucking colors throughout all of America. And you can't make the argument that white people ain't getting jobs, Marjorie. You can't make that argument when the numbers would just shut that shit down instantly. We got to do better. That's what I'm saying. We got to do better. We got to do better. That should be the topic right there. That's the issue. We got people coming from other countries that are trying to take, or not trying to, they are taking a bunch of jobs. I can't wait to see the numbers reflected next year, the 2024 numbers. I cannot wait to see the numbers again next year. It's going to be predominantly predominantly white, and then overwhelmingly, guess what, Hispanic. And before, and let me tell you this. They better not. I'll be very pissed off if they count the people from Africa as black when they do the statistics for the next, because that's you got to put other, because black and African, it's separate to me. The reason being is they didn't take part in the black experience. They can't be counted as black. You got to count them as like Kenyan or whatever the country they from, or other. You can't count them because that's just hurting our statistics. I'm just saying. And you better not be counting the dark-skinned Guatemalans and Nicaraguans as black either. They ain't take part in this experience. Better count them as other. Count them as other, so that way we can get a real dynamic. Don't count them as Hispanic either, because the Hispanics over here in America are American Hispanics. Count them as other, so we can see the real numbers reflected of how many people from other countries. That's why I say count them as other, not that they're not human or nothing like that. Count them as other, so we can see the actual numbers reflected. I want to know how many people came over here and got jobs. How many people are employed from other countries right here in America? That should be the argument that they're having on Congress, in Congress, on Capitol Hill. That should be the topic of discussion, not this shit about white people being replaced with jobs. And stop it. Talk about all of Americans that are being replaced, like Trump did. They're coming over here and they're taking American jobs, black jobs, Hispanic jobs. Talk about that. That should be the topic. It's just getting to be insane, you guys. It's getting to be insane how they're doing. And this is why I get so upset with government. This is why I get so upset when we sit and listen to Congress talk. This is why I get so upset when I hear, look at Biden. See, this thing right here, this is why this helps Biden, right? Conversations like they had on Fox News about them blocking the spending bill to help student loan. That makes Biden look like a hero. He was trying to get rid of student loan debt. But then you got the other side to say, no, he was trying to hurt Missourians' pockets with paying. I'm not going to allow them to hurt. But you allowed them to hurt Missourians' pockets by sending all that money over there to Ukraine, all that money over there to Israel, all that money to Pakistan for gender studies. I'm not letting that go. That one bothered me. It hurt me. So if you're going to stand up for the people, Congress, if you're going to stand up for the people that you represent, do it all the time. Don't pick and choose when it benefits you. Don't pick and choose if it benefits you. Let it benefit all of the American people. I wish that what he said was true all the time from all of Congress. We wouldn't be sitting here today talking about this. Y'all wouldn't be listening to me right now. I wouldn't have no gripe. But you won't let them help our own American students, which I know I'm going to get some flack for this, right? I agree with bailing out student loan debt. I agree. I switch my position. I agree with it. And the reason I agree with it is because they've shown us that they can take billions and give it abroad. But you can't help out our students. It's a problem. That's a problem. That is a problem. Straight up. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me know before we keep going. My bad. I'm over here. I'm going in. I'm going in. Our local Walmart run by Muslims. But that's not a problem for me. That's not a problem for me. Are they American Muslims? That should be the only thing, Jen. If they're American. If they're American Muslims, I don't see a problem. Religion shouldn't play a factor in anything. Muslims got to work too. Jews got to work too. Christians got to work too. Atheists got to, or atheists like aliens, atheists got to work too. All of these people, we got to have jobs. That right there is the key to unite. I don't care about what somebody's religion is. I don't care their color. I don't care about any of that shit. That doesn't bother me at all. I respect Muslims. You know what I'm saying? I respect Jews. I respect Christians. You know, I'm just not a respecter of the religion, but I respect them as people following their beliefs. This is America. You can believe whatever you want. That was the whole goal of creating America. Yeah. I'm not sure either why she went after that. Yes, that's the key. They need to spend the money better. This concept I can agree with. And that's the whole thing, you guys. See, we get caught up in wanting to argue, about things that don't matter. And that's one of the things, right? I still disagree with bailing out student debt, but I also disagree with sending the money overseas. The money should be kept here helping our veterans. Well, that's a good argument, right? But my pushback would be, Sarah, and Sarah, I love you to death. My pushback would be, why can't we do both? Why can't we help our veterans and help the future leaders of our country? You know what I'm saying? That are going through school. Why can't we help them too? That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Let me see. Say, I'm not paying for indoctrination camps for fake gender studies. Oh, colleges negative on that, sending money to overseas. I heard that. We cannot equate ghetto behavior with acting black, and yes, 100% proper behavior with acting white. Facts, 100%. We don't have any money. It's all printed to digital. Yep, I feel you. And they should put a cap on the tuition for the schools. I agree. This is the thing, you guys. Think about this just for 1 second. Think about this. They give, hear me out and really listen to what I'm about to say. Congress gets paid a big fucking chunk of money every year. And then for the rest of their lives, depending on how long they served, for the rest of their lives. Why the fuck can't we create schools that are funded and paid for, and the teachers be funded, and school be free? If they got the money to pay these fucking crooks, why can't we have schools, right? Why can't we have schools that bring up the next generations, trades, all of that, all of it, trades, scientists, doctors, for free? They can pay all these fucking people that sit inside that Capitol building for the rest of their lives and big ass chunks of money. You don't see the problem here? You don't see where the argument should be being made? This is why people are upset in this country. A lot of people see it the exact same way that I see it. That we are paying these people to fuck us forever. You see what I'm saying? Let me see. My black family is highly educated, successful, with high expectations. My white family is trailer addicts, criminals, etc. Okay. Cash, there's a delicate balance of all of this, but one side gets hold of the narrative and push and run with the cash. I understand. I feel you. Other countries do it. Here's the thing. Schools need to do their part because they're the ones changing so much. It's out of control. It's all profit universities. Maybe the schools should help bail out the student loan debts. I get what you're saying, but did you hear what I just said? Yeah, stop pushing the kids to go to college who really don't know what they want to do. 17 years old, Jordan Peterson College. Okay. My black employees are my favorite and hardest working. I try so hard to promote them and they refuse. I think that needs to change. I feel like this BS talk, they can do it, makes them fearful. I heard that. Respect the opinion. They don't care because they already got paid. Sorry, fat finger. It's all good, Sarah. I understand. I get it. But I mean, you guys, this argument, right? To me, it just makes too much sense. We have people that sit inside of the Capitol building and waste our money arguing about eyelashes and the ways that bodies are built, and white people not getting jobs and black people need more jobs, but they're getting paid a lot of fucking money to sit there and talk about shit that they're never going to do for us. No one's seeing the scam here. No one's seeing the scam. We're all going to pretend like we want to help these people. And maybe some of them really do want to help, but it's never going to happen because the way that the voting is set up, that you got to have so many people in each house to pass these bills to get it done. You see what I'm saying? I'm a J6er, just released. Would like I could help share my prison story. I was freed on the 21st. I got you, my bro. You on X? Shoot me a I don't know if you're watching on my account on X. Cash Lee Kelly. I'm sorry. Yeah, Cash Lee Kelly 1. If you're watching on mine, shoot me a DM and I got you. I'll bring you on, bro. You can tell your story. I got you. And welcome home, my brother. I just came home 4 months ago too. So I feel you. Straight up. We got another J6 in the building that is free. Thank God. I got you, my bro. If they don't do their job, they shouldn't be paid. Okay. I got you, my bro. Yeah, if they don't do their job, they shouldn't be paid. But how about they shouldn't be paid at all? How about that? Why do you need to be paid to represent the people? That's a public service job. Why do you need to be paid? Straight up. I don't understand it. And if they are going to be paid, they shouldn't be paid no more than the damn teachers getting paid. The teachers should be, the real teachers should be getting paid what Congress is getting paid. If you want to be real, they're educating the next generation. Don't you think that teachers would do a little bit better, would push a little bit harder? Don't you think that the world would be a little bit better if the teachers really was like, you know what, I feel rewarded for what I'm doing, not just because I'm raising the next generation, but because they really give a shit and they are paying us the right amount. And we're not going to push this bullshit. Because when you got cheap paid teachers, guess what happens? You got somebody that come along and say, hey, teacher, you start pushing this narrative for us in the schools and teaching the kids this way, and we'll give you a fat ass check. You start campaigning a little bit for us this way through your classroom. And this is what we're seeing happening. And people ain't even realizing this shit. Not even realizing it. A pride flag is not teaching. It is not something that is a part of curriculum. Why is it hanging in a classroom? Make you think. Maybe, and there's articles that you can go and look about this, about teachers coming out saying that, they was paid, they was approached and said, hey, why don't you put this in your classroom and we'll look out for you. This shit happens. And it's because they can be bought, because they are fucking struggling. The teachers are struggling like everyday Americans. So, brings me to my next topic. Project 2025. Project 2025. Right? All right. I appreciate that, you guys. Appreciate that. Project 2025. Have you guys heard about it? Have you heard about it? Biggest problem, Chase, a lot of you. 100%. That is scary and a valid point. Appreciate you, Sarah. But Project 2025 talks about ending the Department of Education. Talks about closing down the FBI. Creating new schools towards Christian values. Now, I know it gets a lot of pushback. Now, you'll hear the left trying to say, well, they're trying to turn America into a Christian nationalist nation, and that this is the start of fascism, is what they would say. Now, I'm telling you this. Personally, for myself, let me get this out the way right now. I am against turning America into a Christian nationalist nation legally, like a theocracy. I am against the theocracy. However, I would be okay with Christian nationalist ideologies being promoted in schools that were created for Christians. I'm okay with that. We should be able to have schools of indoctrination, because that's what schools are, right? We should be able to have schools that are teaching Christian values, just like somebody that's a Muslim. If you want to have a school that is Muslim based and you have the freedom of choice to choose what school you want your kid to go to, that should be okay. It's not a problem for me. I don't have a problem with it. This is America. People forget this. People forget that this is America. The founding fathers wanted freedom of religion, freedom for you to choose. Because remember, they was getting the hell away from religious persecution over there in England, right? There should be as many schools as want to be created for people. If you want to go and learn to be a wacky ass liberal at a liberal school, then you go do that. But we should have the right to have a school over here that says, hey, we're going to promote straight up conservative values. We're going to promote Christian nationalist ideas. We're going to promote. That should be okay. I see nothing wrong with that. And the Department of Education has failed these children. Failed. So I don't see a problem with getting rid of it. Except for this is my critique, right? the Department of Education was put in place partially because people were being discriminated against, and racism and all types of crazy shit at that time, right? So we need to keep those checks and balances in place in creating these new schools. You cannot be discriminated against if a Muslim wants to go to a Christian school, right, to learn about Christianity but still retain his faith. It should not be a problem. If a Christian wants to go to a predominantly Muslim school or a school that was created for Islam to teach Islamic values, that should be totally okay. They should not be discriminated against. So we have to keep checks and balances. A black dude can go to a predominantly white school. That's where the murkiness comes in. We got to keep those things in place. But I think people are freaking out about, well, on the left, are freaking out about Agenda 2025. I haven't had the chance to read it all. I've been going through it here and there. It's a lot. It's almost 1,000 pages. But so far, it doesn't seem that bad to me. It seems like a pretty fucking good idea. So that's just for me. So far, maybe I'm gonna read something tomorrow that's gonna say, "Hey, Cash, go back. You need to fact check that one, bro. You might feel differently." But as of right now, I have not read anything that makes me be like, "Oh my god, we're gonna put black people back on the plantation." No, that's not what it is, man. Don't let these people make you fearful. Read these things for yourself. Read it for yourself. That's my advice to anybody that's watching that's liberal. That's my advice to anybody that's conservative that wants to talk about Project 2025. Read it for yourself. I have not read the whole thing. I watched a brief summary of it. I watched the video on it, which led me to want to read it for myself. So go read it and you tell me what you think. So far from what I'm reading, I don't see a problem with it. I do not see a problem with it at all. But we cannot have discrimination, man. We can't do that. And what I mean by that is we can't have racism. That's the whole of it right there. Nothing should be based off of race in this country anymore. Nothing should be based off of race in this country anymore. We only are one race. Over here in America, we are humans that are American. We are men of different hues. Humans, men of different hues that are American. That's it. That's it. Now, I told you guys I changed my position on immigration. I don't think that Trump should deport anybody from Mexico unless they're from one of the other Mexicos, like Honduras or, El Salvador or something like that. It's a joke. But yeah, no, man, I like talking about this stuff, you guys. I think that the deportation thing, people are taking out of context. I don't think he's going to deport everybody that came through underneath Joe Biden's administration. All right. I don't think that's going to happen. I think something does need to be put in place to get things back on track, because when you go through Chicago right now, they got buildings that are literally for people that came from across the border. Whereas you got a whole bunch of homeless people, some of them vets, all different races. Excuse me. All different races that are homeless, sleeping on the bridges and in tents and all types of stuff, and hot in the summer, cold in the winter. And they got cooling vans that are only for people that are migrants. If you look like me and you go up there and you say, "Look, it's hot out here, I need to get in." I'm sorry, where are you from? I'm an American. So you can't come in this van. That's a problem. That is a problem. Okay. I hope you guys all do your homework and look into this stuff and really think about this stuff about Congress that I was telling you guys, and understand why the left has a valid argument in saying, that there should be more social programs. I understand it, but my critique of them is, you sorry sons of bitches are the ones that are pushing all this money into other nations while you call for all this shit to be. We can't do shit for both. We can't go and help every other country and save the fucking world and expect to be able to help out our own American citizens. We should always be looking out for America first, which is why it's Trump 2024 for me. Don't care if you disagree. Trump puts Americans first, and it's been proven time and time again. So when you could do America first, then I'll agree with helping everybody else. But right now, it's got to be about helping Americans first. We have all this money to send to these other countries. We got all this money to pay Congress every fucking year. Well, guess what? We should be able to help American citizens that are homeless. We should be able to help homeless vets. We should be able to help the vets, period, when they come home. We should be able to have people pay their student loan debts. We should be able to have better health care. We should be able to have all that shit right here at home with all the money that you have shown us in our face. You did this, like the man said right there, like Trump said. You're like this to the American people when you send all that money over there and then deny us the shit that we need right here at home. It's wrong. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about it all. If you could do me the favor right now, everybody, we have a little over 200 people watching this show right now. So wherever you're watching from, if you guys can please like this video right now and share this video out for me and leave a comment about how you feel. Am I right, wrong? Do you feel indifferent? Is it fuck cash? Cash are great? Whatever. Leave the comment, like the video, and share the video. And if you're on YouTube, ring the bell so that you never miss another video. I'd appreciate it if you could follow me on all my social media platforms. I'm about to get out of here. You guys, before I go, freedomboxinfo.com. All right. We promote American made. See, we do our part. We promote American made. We support American business as much as we can, because it's hard to get everything that you need from an American made store. It's really hard to do. But we have such a store where you could get a lot of the essential things that you need every single day. All right. It's been around for 40 years, but you probably, a lot of you probably have heard about it, but a lot of you probably haven't heard about it. If you would like to hear more about it, you can message me, or you could go to freedomboxinfo.com and I'll send you the overview and we can talk. All right. I definitely recommend that you guys check it out. Definitely. You can save money by shopping American. They literally pay you to shop there. You watch videos, you earn money for watching the videos and answering 2 questions, and they give you money to spend at the store. Swear to God, not a lie. Also, you can earn an income just by doing what I'm doing right now, because this company does not pay for advertising. In 40 years, they've been around for 40 years. They do not pay for advertising. They do not pay for commercials. They do not pay to ship anything from overseas to come and use over here. Everything is 100% American made, except for the eyeliner. It comes from Italy. That's it. But everything else made right here in America, packaged right here in America, shipped to you right here in America by Americans. And guess this is the best part. Even the customer service line. The customer service line, when you call them, you don't get this. Hello, may I help you? No, you don't get that. You get, hey, how are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? How can we help you today? And they handle your situation literally 5 minutes. You're done off the phone. No complaining. All right. Yeah. Link in the description or a mod. I messed up signing for it. Okay, I got you. Can you guys, all the people that are on my YouTube, do you have Facebook? If you have Facebook, go to my Facebook or go to my X account and inbox me. I recommend Facebook. It's a lot easier. Just comment on a video. Comment, hey, Cash, I'm interested. Can you help me out? I got you. Do that. All right. I'll be checking my Facebook right now for the next hour. Okay. So if you guys want to learn more about it, you want to hear more about it, you want to earn an income and become a part of my team, because I actually have a team. I've signed up over 100 Americans. Have switched to shopping American made. If you're interested in that, inbox me right now. Inbox me or put interested if you're not watching on YouTube. All right. If you're interested and you're watching on Facebook or somewhere else, on my Facebook, the Cash Kelly Facebook. All right. Then just put interested in the comment box, and then I will reach out to you. And I got to go. I want to hit 400 Americans. That's my goal. I want to switch 400 American families to shopping American. It's better for you, better for the environment, better for your health, better for your wallet. And yeah, it's just all around win. There's no, I got an email too. You know what? Let me put my email in the chat. I hate email, but I will check it. That's Kelly 2014 at gmail.com. That's my email, everybody. I just put it in the chat. And then here's the other email. If you just want to go there, it's a lot easier. That way I could get your number and I can hit you up. freedomboxinfo.com. And just so you know, I am a FaceTimer. All right. So if you're somebody that goes to Freedom Box Info and you sign up through there, or just enter your information for me to call you and all of that, I am a FaceTimer. I will FaceTime you. If you say, yo, I got questions, I'd like to talk to you. I'm not just going to call you on the phone. I like to FaceTime. I like to talk to people. It's more personal. And I like to get to know you guys. I know that's a lot of influencers don't do that. Probably like maybe none. I'm probably one of the only ones. But yeah, I like to do that. I like to get to know the people that I'm talking to. So if you're interested, you guys, like I say, go to freedomboxinfo.com right now and fill out the jot form, and I'll be reaching out to you. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. I appreciate you for tuning in with me on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. God bless y'all. Unite, don't fight, be a street light. It's only you can be the change you wish to see in the world. And when you get too stressed out, you got to remember to pray, America, because without God, everything falls apart. That's a fact. Catch y'all later.